It's the last 3 months of the year, and if it is that you're looking to glow up, lose weight, get healthy, and get fit before 2025, now is the perfect time to start. Hello and good morning and welcome back to my channel. I'm naturally Ray, or you can just call me Ray. Now, if you know you watch my videos back to back to back to back and have not subscribed, why not? Make sure you subscribe and hit your notification bell so you don't miss when I upload future vlogs and videos where I talk about health, fitness and lifestyle. So we're in the last week of September, and on October the 1st we are starting a 30-day challenge. You all know the first time I ever did a 30-day challenge was in July, and I really enjoyed that challenge. I actually lost 10 pounds in that 1 month from doing these 5 non-negotiables, and I'm doing similar non-negotiables for this particular challenge. I'm not too sure if I would lose another 10 pounds, but what I would say is for this entire challenge, these 30 days, and then for the other 2 months of the year, it's not so much about maybe reaching your goal weight, but 90 days is actually a really good time to develop healthy habits, healthy routines, things that are realistic and sustainable. So even if you don't reach your goal weight by the end of this year, you definitely will be way ahead of a lot of people that may be rushing to lose weight at the beginning of 2025. So you will have that advantage. So let's get into these 5 non-negotiables. The first one, which I think is maybe the easiest for most persons, is increasing the amount of water you intake on a day-to-day basis. Now, whether you're male, female, your height, your weight, you will have to check what is recommended for you. I am going to stick to 80 ounces of water every single day. The last time, at least well in July, I actually said let me drink 100 ounces. Y'all, that was way too much for me, so sticking with 80 ounces is fine. Now what I can say is, depending on if you do a lot of strenuous activity, if it is that you work a strenuous job, if you exercise a lot, or you live in a very hot climate like here in Trinidad, you may have to increase that, I guess, recommended amount for your height, your weight, your sex, that type of thing. But for the most part, I'm going to really stick to the 80 ounces. It did really well for me. And maybe increase it to maybe 90 ounces, 100 ounces if on some particular days I don't feel as hydrated. Now I always talk about using electrolyte, or maybe using some pink Himalayan salt, put it in your water, put it on your tongue and then drink some water, because that will actually help you to replenish some of the electrolytes you may lose if you're drinking way too much water for the day. So that's just something to consider. Now the second non-negotiable is something that I think is easy and realistic, and that is walking intentionally for 1 hour every day. Now I know some people talk about, yes, increasing your steps, which means you increase your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and the arbitrary 10,000 steps. I know I talk about this all the time, but you do not have to walk 10,000 steps a day. And the thing is that I actually was wondering, like, how are people walking these 10,000 steps? And when I google it, I realized it actually only takes like an hour and 40 minutes to walk 10,000 steps. I was like, what? So really and truly, this can be easy after your snack, after breakfast, after lunch, after dinner. So after like your 4 main meals, just walk about 20 minutes and that will take you really close to 10,000. As a matter of fact, the reason that I say the arbitrary 10,000, because you do not have to walk 10,000 steps every day. If it is that you read some of the research, you realize that walking for like 8,000, 8,500, 9,000 steps actually gives you the same benefits, or very similar benefits, for people who walk 10,000, 15,000. Now obviously if you walk more, it's fine, but you don't need to reach for that 10,000 every day. If it is that you know you live a very sedentary lifestyle, you sit down at a desk a lot, and you maybe only walk like maybe 4,000 steps a day, don't try to go to 8,000 steps next week. Maybe increase it by 500 in 1 week, the following week then increase it by 1,000, and you just increase incrementally as time goes by, as you get accustomed to it. But walking is something that should be comfortable for most people. If it is that you don't have any issues with your mobility, it's really easy. You don't have to consider going to the gym, getting special equipment, nothing like that. Just get some really good shoes if you know you're walking a lot, and you should be fine. Walking is, let me tell you, when it is I walked so much in July, that really helped me to lose a lot of my belly fat, and I'm telling you, it is really easier than you think. I just put on music for a little bit, watch YouTube videos. A lot of my favorite YouTubers, their videos are like 20 minutes long, half an hour long. Sometimes I'm listening to a podcast and it's like an hour long. Now, you may not want to walk for an entire hour, even though if I'm listening to something that is very entertaining and educational or motivational, I will walk for an hour and don't even realize. But again, research has shown that splitting up your time frame in terms of your walking, whether you decide for the entire day you want to walk extra for an hour and a half, actually splitting it up in morning and lunchtime and evening actually proves to be quite beneficial than having to just do a full hour and a half in one session. Now, if you do that, it's also fine, but you don't have to feel pressured to walk for an entire hour straight. Split it up, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and it will be great. You know, walking really will help you to lose a lot of that belly fat. Another thing that will also help you to lose a lot of your belly fat is your nutrition. Now listen, y'all, I know some people don't like to talk about this, but the reality is you would not lose weight if you are not in a calorie deficit. I know a lot of people talk about, well, I have PCOS, or I have hormonal imbalances, I have perimenopause, I'm going through menopause. Y'all, tens of thousands of persons who have medical conditions and hormonal imbalances have lost weight successfully because they were in a calorie deficit. So my third non-negotiable is really about what you eat, but specifically eating more whole unprocessed foods versus ultra processed food. So we're following the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time you're eating more healthy foods, and then 20% of the time you indulge. You'll know I like to talk about balance. Unfortunately, when I used to say in the past, oh, I'm following the 80-20 rule, that was a big lie. And the thing is, it was unintentional. Unbeknownst to me, I actually thought I was eating in an 80-20 rule type of, I guess, diet. I don't like to use that word, but you all know what I mean. But I had to calculate it and like literally take out my calculator, well, the calculator on my phone, and I actually just said, okay, what is 20% of 30 days? Yo, that's 4 days. Do you know how many treat meals and cheat meals I had thinking I was still sticking to the 80-20 rule? Most of the times I say, okay, it's the weekend, I start on Friday, I have cheat meals on Saturday, Sunday, and that end up being sometimes like 8 to 12 days versus 4 days. Like, no, if you're following the 80-20 rule for this particular month, for the 30 days, the rule is you are only allowed 4 days. Now, if it is you really want to make progress, you can't say I'm staying away from ultra processed food, staying away from the bad seed oils and artificial flavorings and natural flavorings, and you're staying away from that from Monday to Friday, and then you choose one day like the Saturday, and for the entire day you overindulge. You're gonna cancel out all of your progress. So maybe stick to just one particular meal that you could use as a treat. Do not overdo it, because you will not see the progress that you want to see. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna lose another 10 pounds. I would love to lose another 10 pounds in this particular month coming up. That would be awesome, but we'll see how it goes. But I know, just based on the fact that August and September I have been keeping up with these similar routines and keeping up with these non-negotiables, and I'm still continuing to lose weight. I think this extra push of being a little stricter for these 30 days, because with these days you cannot skip any days, you have to stick with it every single day for these 30 days. And just as a bonus, just like the last time, on day 31, so October the 31st, you can actually treat yourself. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to like go out for dinner. You could just do some type of self-care, maybe go and visit somewhere that you wanted to do for a long time. Whatever you want to do to treat yourself, you can do that on the last day of this month. which is not this month, next month, the 31st of October. And one other thing that I wanted to point out about nutrition is that a lot of people say, well, they don't like counting calories, it's very triggering for you, and if it is, then don't do it. Maybe if you have some type of disordered eating, you may not want to actually count calories or use a food scale to measure your food, or maybe use like MyFitnessPal app to check. But I say this all the time, if you don't measure it and if you don't track it, you cannot improve on it. If weeks and weeks and months are passing and you're in a plateau, you're not losing weight, you really have to be a little more mindful, a little more intentional, and maybe a little more granular with what you are consuming and your fitness level. We'll get into the fitness soon, but nutrition is key. Please, nutrition is key, and consistency is also key. If it is that you don't want to use a food scale or put in like your macros, your proteins, your fats and your carbs into MyFitnessPal app or any other app, you can consider looking at your portions. For example, the measurement with your hand, like the palm of your hand is what you can consider using for the amount of protein, and then your fist is for the amount of vegetables you eat, and then a cupped hand for the amount of carbs you eat, and then the thumb for your fat. I'll maybe put up some type of image here so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So at least, even if you don't want to measure out, even with a measuring cup, you have a general idea. Once you do that over time and you actually starting to see results, then you could intuitively eat after that. But again, measure some things, try to calculate some things so you know how you can improve on it. And the beauty about all of these different non-negotiables and having these healthy habits and routines is that when it is you eat the recommended amount of protein, the 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of your ideal body weight, you're gonna be satiated, you're gonna feel fuller for longer. It's gonna help out with your hormones as well. Eating enough fiber as well is gonna keep you satiated. Making sure you eat a healthy fats, obviously healthy starchy carbs as well is very important. But a lot of these foods, these healthy foods, healthy unprocessed foods, will help with balancing your hormones. You have foods that are anti-inflammatory, antioxidants. A lot of these things help out with your gut health, which also help you out with losing weight. So just be mindful of that. Yes, you may have differences with your body as it changes over time based on maybe some medical conditions you have, but eating the right amount of foods can be very healing and help to balance out your hormones. And what also helps to balance out your hormones is getting good quality sleep. So for these next 30 days, you're going to aim at getting between 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I know that might be challenging for some people, maybe based on the type of work you do. Maybe you have like small children or babies, so obviously it might be a little challenging to get that 7 to 9 hours of sleep, but it's so important to get sleep for your recovery, to rest your body, for your body to heal, for your body to regenerate. You ever like you ever wake up in the morning from not getting good quality sleep and you're feeling tired, you're feeling groggy, you're feeling exhausted, and then you are craving so much foods, and most of these foods are not the healthy foods. You tend to crave like the junk foods, the sweet stuff. Your cortisol level is really high. You really need to make sure that you have a really good circadian rhythm when it comes to your sleep cycle. This is something I know I still struggle with. But I have found that even with implementing this particular non-negotiable in July, I improved a little more in August. The month of September has been going really good, so I'm really happy about that. And I'm just trying to make improvements every single day, getting that 1% better every day with everything that I do, because you remember, we need to be good stewards of our body, what we're putting into our body, how we're taking care of our temple, like the Bible mentions. So make sure that you're getting your good quality sleep. Some people, they spend so much more time on their phone, guilty as charged. And you may say, oh, I don't know where I'm going to get these 7 hours or 8 hours or 9 hours. You can find the time. You have to make sure that you develop proper morning routines, nighttime routines, so that you know how to properly schedule everything. And I'm sure you can find that 7 hours and get some good quality sleep. And the 5th non-negotiable is doing 3 days of strength training or resistance training every week for the next month. Now, this one was hard in July, but I told myself, okay, Rian, you can do hard things. And in July, sometimes I would have just spent like 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes on some days, and I didn't really push myself further. This time, no, this is for me, and maybe you can put this for you. You have to do at least 30 minutes of strength training or resistance training. I plan on being between, at least working between 30 minutes to an hour, but no less than 30 minutes. So whether you decide you're gonna do it, your 3 days are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever days, but you need to do your strength training and resistance training. Yes, cardio is important. It's very good for your cardiovascular health. You can maybe choose to do it on those particular days as well. Work it out based on your schedule, but it's so important when it is you build muscle, you increase your BMR, you increase your metabolism. That is going to help you so much with your weight loss. It is key. You're not looking to build muscles like a bodybuilder, but trust me, if it is that you're not accustomed lifting weight, get a 5-pound weight. That is going to be heavy for you initially, but you want to progressively overload. If it is that you're doing some bicep curls or you're doing some deadlifts and you're doing those things maybe like reps of maybe 20-30 times really easily, it's time to increase it. Increase your weight by maybe 8-pound weights, 10-pound, eventually 15, and you progress over time because you need that stimulus for your muscles to grow. And of course, if you're eating the right amount of protein, the recommended amount of protein, you're going to see really great results. I was considering increasing because in July I stuck with 3 days of every week, and I was like, you know what, we're in October, well, going to be in October, maybe should I increase to 4 days? And I'm like, you know what, Rian, you want to do something that is realistic and sustainable for you, for your routine. And I said that's how I want it to be for all of these non-negotiables. If it is something that you don't like, you don't enjoy, whether it's the foods you're eating, the exercise you're doing, whatever it is, you will not stick to it. It will not be sustainable, and within a couple of weeks you're going to fall off, and you maybe will gain back a lot of the weight. Do things that are realistic, do things that are sustainable, because yes, this is a journey, but it's also a lifestyle. This is not about trying to reach your goal weight before the end of the year, but when 2025 come around, you get back to the same size. Again, guilty as charged. It has happened to me time and time again, but this year is different because I am really trying to do things that I can sustain for a lifetime. And I really hope that you'll be able to go along this journey with me. I really hope that you'll be able to do this challenge with me. I hope that this video was encouraging, motivating, inspirational. If it was, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you want to do this type of challenge with me, and let me know how things are going on your journey so far with your weight loss, getting healthy and getting fit. If it is that you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I upload future vlogs and videos. And as always, try your best to become the healthiest version of yourselves. Bye guys.